Darth Vader. Once a promising Jedi, Anakin Skywalker's descent into darkness is a cautionary tale of how power and fear can corrupt even the noblest heart. Consumed by anger and manipulated by Emperor Palpatine, Vader becomes an enforcer of the Empire's tyranny. His willingness to obliterate entire planets and snuff out the Jedi Order makes him a figure of terror. Yet beneath the mask lies a glimmer of the man he once was, reminding us that evil can be both monstrous and deeply human. Voldemort. Tom Riddle, better known as Voldemort, is the embodiment of fear and prejudice. His obsession with immortality leads him to commit unspeakable acts, such as splitting his soul into Horcruxes. Voldemort's philosophy of pure-blood supremacy and his willingness to murder innocents, including a child he saw as a threat, showcase a villain devoid of compassion. His snake-like appearance mirrors the reptilian coldness of his heart. The Joker. An agent of chaos, the Joker thrives on mayhem. Unlike most villains, he has no grand plan or political agenda. His aim is simple: to break people's spirits and reveal the fragility of social order. The Joker's unpredictable nature and his capacity for unrelenting violence make him a villain who is as terrifying as he is fascinating. He's a mirror reflecting the darkest corners of human nature. Sauron. Sauron represents pure, unrelenting evil. As the creator of the One Ring, he binds others to his will, seeking to dominate all life in Middle-earth. Unlike many villains, Sauron doesn't need a physical form to impose his will. His influence spreads through corruption and temptation. He's a symbol of how absolute power can corrupt absolutely, a reminder that even the desire for control can destroy entire worlds. Cersei Lannister. Cersei isn't your typical villain wielding swords or magic. Her weapon is her cunning and unyielding ambition. She's willing to sacrifice anyone, including her own children's well-being, to secure power. From orchestrating the destruction of her enemies to manipulating those around her, Cersei's calculating nature and unflinching ruthlessness make her one of the most complex and fearsome villains in fiction. Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter is a chilling blend of intellect and brutality. A highly cultured individual, he uses his psychological insight to manipulate and terrify. His actions are made even more horrifying by his charm and eloquence, which disguise the gruesome reality of his crimes. Hannibal doesn't just kill, he indulges in his victims, making his evil both physical and symbolic. Thanos. Thanos isn't your typical power-hungry villain. He genuinely believes his actions are for the greater good. By erasing half the universe's population, he sees himself as a savior. This warped sense of morality, coupled with his willingness to sacrifice even those he loves, makes him both relatable and terrifying. Thanos challenges our understanding of evil, as his conviction turns mass murder into a twisted act of mercy. Nurse Ratchet. Sometimes, evil doesn't wear a mask or carry a weapon. Nurse Ratchet's brand of villainy lies in her cold, bureaucratic control over vulnerable patients. Her abuse of power and her calculated destruction of individuality make her a symbol of institutional oppression. She reminds us that evil can be quiet, methodical, and disturbingly mundane. Lord Farquaad. While he might seem comical at first glance, Lord Farquaad's actions reveal a darker side. He exiles fairy tale creatures from his kingdom and uses manipulation to achieve his goals, showing that even the most ridiculous villains can wield power in devastating ways. Farquaad's shallow and self-serving nature makes him a cautionary tale of unchecked ego. Ramsey Bolton. Sadism personified, Ramsey Bolton doesn't just inflict pain, he revels in it. From feeding people to his dogs to psychological manipulation, Ramsey's love for cruelty knows no bounds. His actions are not driven by power or ambition but by pure malice, making him one of the most disturbing villains in fiction.